What's going on, achievement hunters? It's me, Morvi, and I'm here with a whopping list of easy completions on the Game Pass. I know you lot really like my top 10s, especially the Game Pass ones, so today I thought I'd go through the list of games available and show you the easy ones, to save you lot a lot of time. I've compiled a big old list with fast and easy completions. I don't believe I've missed any out, but if I have, please let me know down in the comment section, as I will be heavily embarrassed. On another note, if you're looking to spice up your completion list, why not check out my latest top 10 after this video. In there I'll show you how to get 35,000 Gamerscore by playing 10 games. As always, if you enjoyed this video, you know the drill by now, like, subscribe and ring that bell if you'd like to see more content like this. We've got a lot to get through, so let's jump right into this. Okay, the first one, and boy, let me tell you, it is not the best one on this list. The first of our many dog titles, DC League Super Pets, is an on-rail shooter where you take control of either Crypto or Ace. I'll be honest, this is probably one of my least favourite titles on this list. Coming in at around 3 to 4 hours to get the full 100% completion. It is over quite quickly, but the reason I wasn't a fan is because it feels like a mobile phone game. The levels look very similar throughout, and there are only a few different enemy types. I'm not trying to deter you, I'm just letting you know. You fly through the streets shooting Lex Luthor's robots. You'll come up against wave after wave and sometimes having to clear the area to continue. To get the 100%, you'll need to fully upgrade your characters and complete the campaign. As I said, it's quite short, coming in at 3 to 4 hours, so if you have a free Sunday afternoon, this one's a good one to grab. But as I said, don't expect a masterpiece like Elden Ring. Now for a point and click. I have spoken about Day of the Tentacle in the past, probably about a year or two ago at this point. This is a remaster of a very popular point and click game by LucasArts in 1993. These guys made some pretty great games back in the day, and this one is no different. I never got to experience the original as, well, it was released before I was born. But the remaster is a great way to get sights into a new audience, and I was one of them. Now, being a point and click, you probably already know this isn't going to take you around 5 minutes to complete, and you'd be correct on that. We take control of these 3 friends who have to stop the plots of an evil tentacle. You know, just your average weekday. With a guide, this one should only take around 2 to 3 hours to complete. Without a guide, this is going to take you a considerable amount of time to get through. I'm going to add making a walkthrough to my list, and once I've completed it, I'll post a link within the description of this video and in the comments. If you want to be the first to see it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. But let's get on to number 3. Now it's time to rip and tear. Doom 64 was a great addition to the Game Pass. It came with a bunch of other Doom titles, but Doom 64 was one that stood out. This was a great little throwback, and it also came with an easy list of achievements that could be made even easier by using various passwords to get to specific levels. Done legitimately, this would have taken us a while, but thankfully these codes take us to all the weapons and all the enemies we need to get them achievements ASAP. This one is over really quickly. Only the rest of the Dooms were this quick. Coming in at around 2 hours to fully complete, you can actually shave off a bunch more time by going through this as fast as possible, but if you're after a casual run, you'll easily get this done in around or just under 2 hours. Many of the passwords will make getting the achievements a breeze. I'll add a link where you can find the passwords in the description below. Unlike other Doom titles, you'll be done and dusted before you've even realised you've started playing, so go get it. This one was a nice little surprise when it ended up on the Game Pass. Escape Academy takes escape rooms to the next level. We join the academy and we have to learn all about the puzzles and how to solve them. We'll be thrown into the deep end and we'll need to complete a multitude of puzzles in the hopes of getting that best grade. But actually, sod the grades. We're here for another reason entirely, aren't we really? And no, it's not the free bus pass, it's the achievements. The campaign is the main bulk of the achievements, but there are a few others scattered around, like exploring the hub world and talking to our classmates. These ones are a lot easier, but they are also very missable, so be careful. This one can take a very long time if you're doing it legit, but with a walkthrough you can skip all of the head scratching and blast on through. This one should take around 2 hours to complete with a walkthrough. And with a walkthrough in hand, this is a walk in the park. It's a nice one to get under your belt as the percentages are still pretty low. So, bag yourself some rare achievements. The second point and click on this list from the same developer, LucasArts. Full Throttle has us take control of Ben Throttle, a no-nonsense biker gang leader. We get caught up in a crime we didn't commit, and now it's our job to set it straight. Originally released in 1995, we now get to relive the biker adventure in full HD with a big old list of achievements to go with it. In total, there are 40 achievements to collect, and some of them are very missable. I would recommend a guide for this one, as without one, there's a very good chance you're going to miss quite a few. If you're reading the list of achievements, they are all in order and fairly straightforward, but if you're going in blind, please save some time with a guide. I personally really enjoyed this point and click. I'm not going to lie, it's not my favourite genre at all. If anything, I do try to avoid them, but this was really well written. You also have the option to change from the remastered graphics to the original, and I think that's a great little touch. Going into this casually, this should take you around 2 hours, but with a guide, you will shave a lot of time off. You'll probably get around an hour and 20-minute completion. Genesis Noir is an interactive story. The visuals are super unique. It's as if we were watching a comic book play out in real time. The story is a little bit all over the place, so bear with me, but we play as this lad here, and he's called No Man. He's trying to win back the heart of his girlfriend. The whole plot is supposed to be a big old metaphor of love and creation. The story is mostly told through the artwork, so you can take the story in a few different ways, so do not quote me on that. But I do believe that is what the story is about. The gameplay is very minimal, and it plays out in a lot of cutscenes. And when you do get a chance to play, it's to do various puzzles and movements around this crazy world. Not gonna lie, personally, I wasn't the biggest fan of this one, but I did soldier on because, you know, I'm a fiend for Gamerscore. With a guide, this one can be easily blasted through. It's nice and short. At one point, there was a really easy console command way of doing it, and it was really cheesy. But sadly, the developer got rid of that one. But don't you worry, this game is super short. Playing legit, you'll get through it in around 4 hours time. And also, don't forget, it is an interactive story, so it's not 4 hours of gameplay. You're going to be watching a lot of cutscene and seeing how the story progresses. So, sit back, enjoy, and get that 1000 gamer score. So, now it's time to beat up your second controller. Gamebeast is a couch co-op party game where you can control one of these zany looking characters, and the aim is to be the last one standing. We played similar titles in the past, such as Human Fall Flat and Night Squad. This one is really easy. You'll either need a couple of friends, or if you want to go one-man army, you'll need 2 controllers. You'll be loading up various levels within the game and doing specific tasks, such as climbing to the highest point on the map, or destroying a specific part of the map. The achievements are easy, but they are really fun to collect as well. Unlike some of the easier games, this one does still make you work for them. If this is something that interests you, then please check out my description below, as I have a complete guide to help you lot out. If you follow along, you'll easily cut some time off that completion. Okay, now it's time to get 2 birds with 1 stone. I've spoken about Goat Simulator multiple times through multiple videos in the past, and I'm going to do it again today. We all know what Goat Simulator is at this point. You play as a goat and you cause chaos. There are many expansion packs for this title, and now I believe there's around 5,000 gamerscore up for grabs if you play all of the expansion packs. But if you're playing through Game Pass, we're going for the first 1,000 gamerscore, and it is really, really easy. This game is on both Xbox and Windows versions of Game Pass, and they are both counted as separate games, so there's actually 2,000 gamerscore up for grabs here. To get the 1,000 gamerscore on each game, you will need to go down the silly to-do list. That tasks us with jobs such as pushing rocks down hills to kill people, sacrifice people to the Goat Devil, and of course, play Flappy Goat. This one is really fun to work towards. If you've played it before, this shouldn't take you too long at all. There are some collectibles along the way, so it might be an idea to pull up a guide now and then, but for the majority of them, they're very straightforward and you've just got to use your brain. They're really, really easy. There aren't any super tricky achievements to get this 1,000 gamer score. I'd say it will take you around 3 to 4 hours max, but I reckon you can do it much faster. Please know that the Goat Sim game does seem to come and go on the Game Pass quite a bit. Originally, I was only going to speak about the PC version, but when I was finalising this video, I did have a check, and hey ho, the Xbox version is back, so get on it real quick. When this game first released, it was a big old hoo-ha as it was a buggy mess. Achievement hunters like myself took advantage of this, and it was once a way to complete this game within 20 minutes. Sadly, the devs were on the case and that has been patched up. But today we still have an easy completion on our hands, not as easy as previous, but still pretty damn fast. This one should take you around 2 hours to complete. With a playthrough guide, this could even take as much as 1 hour to complete, for 1000 Gamerscore. If you've played the first Hello Neighbour, then it's very similar, but now there are multiple neighbours and bad guys to deal with. We need to break into various houses and shops and steal their secret hidden items within. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know the exact premise of this game. As I said, I personally took advantage of the glitches that allow me to skip big chunks of the game. All that I know is something in this town is afoot, and it's our job to find out what. The art style is great. This franchise has always interested me, and how they make seemingly normal looking people have very dark secrets. But like I said, 2 hours and this 1000 G is all yours. Okay, so now it's time to hunt down the same boss in her 7 different vacation spots. Hellsinger is a shooter with a twist. The soundtrack plays a massive part within the combat. The devs hired some absolute metal legends and pretty much made a game around it. If you attack on beat, you will do extra damage. It's like Guitar Hero and Doom had a love child. That being said, to make it a little bit easier, we're going to go to the accessibility settings and turn off the bullet beat mechanic and turn it into a normal Hellscape shooter. Oh, the joys. You can also complete this game on the easiest difficulty, and this makes it so much quicker. The soundtrack is filled with original headbangers from very famous artists, so if you're musically inclined to heavier music, then this one is definitely for you. With fast fingers and the accessibility turned on, this one can be completed in under 2 hours easily. You will need to complete 8 campaign levels, and then each level has challenges set to them. Now, please do not run in fear when you hear challenges. They aren't controller breaking like some other games we will not talk about. These challenges revolve around killing enemies fast, killing them in a specific way, and killing multiple harder enemies at once. A lot of the challenges are very similar but on different arenas, so if you've done one, you can do them all. 1000 Gamerscore in under 2 hours. Easy peasy. And this brings us on to number 12, and this one looks very familiar. Okay, so I won't talk much as it's the exact same game as we've just spoken about previously. This is Hellsinger, but this is the Xbox One version. Same game, same achievements, but it runs at a lower frame rate. Personally, if you haven't completed both, I would start with the Xbox One version, as it's really weird dropping down to 30 FPS. Again, this one will take you under 2 hours. I did find that the second completion went a lot quicker than the first, as you've already done it before. But that being said, you'll have another 1000 Gamerscore in under 2 hours work. So, I haven't actually seen a lot of people talk about this title. I jumped on it the minute it was available on Game Pass, as I smelt easy achievements. Kill It With Fire is an objective-based shooter where we need to remove 8-legged pests from each area. This can be done in a bunch of fun and humane or inhumane ways, depending on how you choose. If you want to be humane, you can give them a quick death, but if you want to be a meanie pants, then don't you worry, grab the flamethrower and set the house on fire. I personally really like this one. It is clearly a project that isn't taking itself too seriously, and I think that's where it gets its charm. We need to go down the to-do list of various locations and essentially wipe out the spider race off the face of the planet. Some of the spiders are well hidden, but they aren't impossible, don't you worry. Check under the tables, check in the bins, they're going to be everywhere. But this one is going to be over in about 4 hours time. I would also really recommend this one as it's a bit of fun and you can create a lot of chaos. If you haven't already, get this on your completed list. So this was on one of my original easier games to 100% on the Game Pass. It has come and gone a few times, but once again, it is back. Inside is a great side-scrolling puzzler with a really eerie vibe. The areas you run through are quite unsettling, and it's also a very quiet game, so that makes it quite unnerving the whole way through. There isn't much dialogue, and most of the world building is done by the locations we visit. They build the narrative of a stark dystopian future, and that our character is fleeing, and I'm not going to lie, I would be too. It is our job to help him out. We need to help our faceless little lad to victory, and we do this by completing various physics-based puzzles and run away from various barky puppers. If you're playing without a guide, you will have this complete in around 4 hours. With a guide, you'll cut some time out by solving the puzzles instantly. I did a playthrough of this a long time ago. I would 100% recommend this one. Even if you aren't an achievement hunter, this is a great little title to play through, and the story is very captivating, and it gets very weird. But yes, 3 to 4 hours, and this one is all yours. Our next Peppa game, and I personally enjoyed it much more than DC League Super Pets. Paw Patrol Saves Adventure Bay is an adventure game where we take control of the puppers of the TV show. We need to work around linear maps, making sure to pick up all the bones and secret items along the way. Thankfully, this game is aimed at a younger audience, so don't expect some Dark Souls type secrets, don't be hitting walls, everything is pretty much easy to find and out in the open. A lot of the achievements are linked with 100% completion, but also playing through the campaign and challenge levels. The challenges are more like mini games, and they're very easy to blast through. I kept them until the end and cleared them up. Like a nice little achievement treat right at the end. There are some driving sections where you also need to pick up all the collectibles. I personally found this the trickiest. They aren't impossible, but you'll definitely have a couple attempts before getting them. Once this is all done, so are you. This 100% will take around 5 to 6 hours. Get it done and you'll have another 1000 G under your belt. Even if you think Paw Patrol is a little bit young for you, do it for the achievements. If you didn't get enough of the pups in the last game, then I've got some great news for you. There's more. Paw Patrol the movie came out alongside the movie, well, I'm assuming so anyway, but it's pretty much a sequel to Saves Adventure Bay. It follows the same blueprint of the game, where we'll need to complete all the campaign and the challenges while also getting all the bones and secret items. I did question if some of the levels on this game were cut from the first one, but I'll keep that to myself. This one's a little bit longer than the first, but it does fly by. This one can be done in around 6 to 7 hours. This is a good one to pick up now and then and do a little bit of grinding on. Or if you're like me and want to do it in one sitting, set up one of my Let's Plays to watch and start cracking them achievements out. This one also offers 1000 G, and once it's done, you're the proud owner of 2 Pup Patrols 100%ed on your account. Okay, so now this one missed out on Game of the Year by an inch, and personally, I am devastated. And that game is my friend Peppa Pig. Now, obviously, I'm playing about, but I knew there was a lot of hype around this game, especially with some of the achievement hunters, ready to get this one completed. It's a fun, short little game where we play in the world of Peppa Pig. We make an original character, and then we go on an adventure. We have to visit the beach, the school, and various other locations from the TV show. All of Peppa's friends need a hand with something, and it's our job to help them out. Personally, if Peppa started charging for her services, she'd be a millionaire. But we do this out of the kindness of our own heart. This one is over in just an hour. I personally liked it. I've never seen an episode of the show, so I had no idea what was going on and who was who. So I just sat back and enjoyed the ride. I have a guide for this one, and it makes it slightly faster. I'll have it linked down in the description below. Check it out if you need it. Now for another classic. Minecraft needs no introduction. During nuclear war, 3 things will remain: McDonald's burgers, cockroaches, and Minecraft. This one is a really fun one to complete. You can do it legit, and it might take you a while to get through, as there's quite a bit of grinding. I did this method personally, and I really had a great time. I played a lot of Minecraft back in the day, and going back was a real nostalgia trip. I also still play the Minecraft soundtrack in my workplace. So you could say I'm still pretty invested. Thankfully though, there is an easy method. You can download other people's worlds, and certain individuals have created achievement worlds. This will allow you to load in and complete each achievement one by one right after the other. This shouldn't take more than 2 hours. Check my description below, as I will link a world that can help you with this achievement hunting. This one offers 2,820 Gamerscore, and it's the highest Gamerscore count from one game on this list. Are you after games that offer more than 1,000 Gamerscore per completion? Well, make sure you check out one of my previous top 10s where I'll show you how to get 34 Gamerscore with 10 games. And it'll only take you a couple of hours. Win-win. Check my description below and I've linked it there, or check out my channel. Okay, so I'm going to hold my hands up and be honest, this one is actually next on my list. Telling Liars is a live action story where the majority of the story involves us sitting in front of a computer screen. We will watch various video calls, and to progress through the story, we will need to interact with them in certain ways. We'll also be clicking around the desktop and snooping around, as that will also help progress the game, and there are also some achievements on there. There are a lot of cutscenes involved, just like any other live action game. This is more like an experience than a full-fledged game. I'll be honest, this one flew completely under my radar. The box art is a cute dog in a hat, and I strangely assumed it was a movie about a dog, so I just skipped it. This is going to be my next guide, so please keep them peeled for that. This one can be done in around an hour and a half, and I believe I can shave a little bit more off to make it even easier. This one looks like there isn't much work to get the full 100%, you just need to know where to look and what to watch. Dawn is a sci-fi horror slash puzzle game where we jump into the world that is very reminiscent of the artworks of H.R. Geiger. A world where machine and flesh are combined to make grotesque, morbid creations. How fun! The aesthetic and tone for this game fit perfectly. Your character interacts with the world as if it's completely normal. For us as viewers, we can see how twisted our surroundings are. Okay, enough bigging the game up. This is about Gamerscore. The game is very, very linear, making the achievement runs fairly straightforward. I'll be honest, the best part of this game is the looks. So blasting past puzzles and monsters, don't worry about missing too much. When I first played this game, I found that the puzzles were very long-winded and quite confusing. I did figure them out in the end, but I didn't exactly feel like I'd accomplished anything. Personally, if I were you, I'd grab a guide for this and work alongside it to make that 100% as easy as possible. This one will take you around 6 hours to complete, but with a guide, it will be much shorter. I'm working on a guide myself, but it is a bit of a long one, so it's taken me a minute to get through. But keep and build, and I'll have you sorted. And now for the next one on the list. This is probably the most commented game on my top 10s, and I have spoken about it on one of my top 10s when it first came out on Game Pass nearly 2 years ago. Townscaper is a great little sandbox. You get the tools to create a picturesque and sometimes steampunk towns and villages. There isn't really an objective per se. If you can think it up, then give it a go. The aesthetics are really charming, and I fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. Sadly, it only takes around 10 to 15 minutes to fully 100%, and without an objective, once I got that 100%, I was out of there. I'd have loved to have grinded this one a little bit more, but I am also happy for an easy 1,000 Gamerscore. This has to be my favourite title on this list. Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion is a top-down adventure game. We play as Turnip Boy, and we're thrown into this zany world that's not scared to break the fourth wall. Nothing is taken seriously in this game, especially when you talk to all of the cute residents and townsfolk. We have to help everyone out, and along the way, we'll open up more and more of the map. Everything about this is super duper charming, and I loved every minute of it. The combat is super easy to get the hang of, and chatting to NPCs will definitely give you a chuckle. What makes it even better is that Turnip Boy is a pretty short completion. Coming in at around 2 to 3 hours, it's super duper easy and super duper quick. I could not recommend a game more. This is the biggest recommendation on this list. Go play Turnip Boy today, you will love it. And just like that, you'll have another 1,000 Gamerscore. I'll be honest, this one isn't the fastest on this list. it isn't fast at all. Originally, Totally Accurate Battle Simulator shouldn't have taken you an absolute age to complete. This is why a lot of the achievements are under 1%. So I decided I wanted to show you lot that there's a super easy method to get through. Now, it's still going to take a few hours, but it does bring the time down from 40 plus hours to around 8. Instead of trying to beat each level legitimately, you can instead turn a game into a first-person shooter and take out the enemies yourself. This makes life so much easier because you can take it into your own hands. There are other achievements that require us to use secret characters. I've also made a separate guide that shows you how to unlock every single secret character in the game. By doing this, you can then unlock all the specific requirement achievements. For example, one of them requires us to make a woolly mammoth float. This achievement is super duper easy, but we need to unlock the mammoth first. All of my tabs guides are linked together to give you the quickest 100%. Again, I really like this one. I wish it wasn't as long, but it was a fun experience. If you want some rarer achievements, then this is the one for you. I have linked my guides in the description, so check them out, and you never know, you might be the owner of the tabs 100%. This one is a little bit like Marmite, you either hate it or love it. Now personally, Marmite tastes like dirt, but I love this game. Now, maybe it's because my day job is actually a photographer, but I really enjoyed getting let loose into this world. So the premise is simple. The world is on the verge of being taken over by an otherworldly presence, and our job is to tick off a to-do list of things that need to be photographed. Some of the items are quite well hidden, so it's our job to explore this cyberpunk type world. The world building is great. You can see that the humans are worried and are trying to evacuate, but the neon advertisements are still glowing and the city is still trying to work. And we run through the streets documenting it all with our camera. Now, this one should take around 2 hours to complete. I do have an easy guide that splits up all of the achievements to each level. This will significantly shorten the run. If you're interested, please, again, check the description below. Well, it's a good thing I triple checked my list. I was about to export this video before this little gem popped up in my head. Rubber Bandits is a party game with a lot of similarities to Gang Beasts. There are some slight differences to the mechanics of the game, but the premise is pretty much the same. You need to beat your opponent, but instead of being the last man standing, you need to steal the most valuables in one level in comparison to your opponents. This is another game you'll need to dust off the second controller for. You can do this with one, but having two makes life so much easier. The achievements for this one are really easy. You will need to hop from world to world beating your opponents while also collecting little miscellaneous ones such as grab an item 10 times or parry 10 times. These sort of achievements are really easy. You will need to use both controllers, but the button commands are really simple. The majority of the other achievements can be collected while hopping around each of the levels. This one can be done without a guide, but if you are so inclined, I have one ready so you can play along with it. At most, this one will take you around 2 hours to complete. A nice and easy one as we come to the end of this list. And for the last title on this list, Unpacking is just like Townscaper, where I got a lot of comments mentioning this title. I've also spoke about this in a previous video. But this game has such a cute premise. If you haven't played it, you follow the life of a young person from childhood to school to college and then finally becoming an adult. It's really cute seeing this person we haven't even seen grow up to be a great adult. I especially loved it when you got to hang up the university degree. At the time of playing this, I was also just finishing up my university, so this one meant a lot to me. The gameplay is simple. We start each level moving into a new home, and it's our job to get the boxes unpacked and everything in a neat and tidy spot. This one is great for people who love tidying up. This one is also really short and it's over before you know it. In under 2 hours, you'll be 1,000 Gamerscore richer. And that is the end of my big old list of easiest games to 100% on the Xbox Game Pass. I hope you've enjoyed it. If I put any easy games on your radar, please let me know down in the comment section and make sure you hit that like button. If you're into achievements, why not hit that sub button? I'm always on the hunt for new achievements and to show you lot the best and easiest games to play. My next video is part 3 of top 10 games to boost your gamer score, And I also have a very different style of video coming up very shortly. How much Gamerscore can I get in 1 hour? It's more of a mini docu-series, and I'm going to show you guys from start to finish of that 1 hour and how quickly I can get that Gamerscore boosted. But for now, we're 100% complete. Until next time, I've been Morvi, and I'll see you later. Happy hunting.